Hi guys, today we are going to be making some chinchin. Look at this, very delicious chinchin. This chinchin is a special chinchin. We are going to be making this chinchin today. It is very sweet, very delicious. And I know you are going to love it. Look at this. You can cut this chinchin to your desired size, any size you want. You can cut. You can fry it or bake it. This is the fried one. It's a special chinchin. This size is sold for 1,500 naira in naira. Then this is the big one, the baked one. Look at it. It's usually stronger than the fried one, though it's also crunchy. But the fried one is somehow kind of soft and crunchy, but the baked one is hard. Can you hear the difference? This is the fried one. Yeah, Kobe don't like fried chinchin, so this one is for Oga Patapata of the house. He prefers the baked. He prefers the baked chinchin to the fried one. So this one is chinchin. And I believe the baked one is also going to last longer. Chin-chin lasts longer anyway. If stored in a tight container, chin-chin can last up to 6 months. But that is if you don't put too much milk. Yes. Let your ingredients be in moderation. Don't put excess. Okay? But this one, ah, will last very longer. They are both sweet and crunchy. So sit back and watch as I continue and show you how I made this delicious chin chin. Merry Christmas. If you are watching this video today is 26th. Yeah, we are still in the spirit of Christmas. So I'm just coming back from the church. So hope you are celebrating very well in your area. Enjoy the love, the happiness, the blessings, gift sharing, and so on and so forth. Okay, we have our flour. I have one pint bucket, one custard bucket of flour. I have already sealed it. Please, it's very important. If I should show you the things that came out of this flour, you'll be surprised. So, of course, I'm going to be adding 1 spoon of powdered milk. This is pig powder. All your ingredients, all your dry ingredients, you are going to be adding all your dry ingredients at once. So this I'll be adding one pack of milk flavor to save it out, but I'll do that later. So I'll be adding 1 tablespoon of milk flavor. This is this arena, just 1 spoon. I don't want to add more than 1 spoon. This is vanilla. This is vanilla flavor. So I'll be adding sugar, 3 cups. And you know when you are using your measuring cup, this is how you measure. Don't forget that. Like this is level. Is level. So I will be using three. Three. That is 3 cup minus 1/8. Just look at what I'm doing. One, two, three. This is 3 cup. Then I will be removing 1/8. This is 1/8. I want to remove this much. It's supposed to be like this, but I want to remove this much. Yeah. I don't want the chin to be too sugary, so you add this. Don't bother to start sieving your sugar. It's a waste of time. There's no need for that. Sugar has seed. Last is going to dissolve. So this is nutmeg. Nutmeg. I have 1 tablespoon of nutmeg. Of course, I have our egg, but our egg, just wait. You see when I'm going to be adding the egg. I'll be adding salt. Half teaspoon of salt. This is it. I don't want to add more than this because I'm using a salted butter. So when you are using your margarine, you have to kind of test it to know if it's too salty. This one, the salt is moderate. Some has enough salt, like more salt. When the salt is much, you don't need to even add salt at all. So the next thing I'm going to be adding here is baking powder. I'll be adding, this is 1 teaspoon. I'll be adding 3.5. Remember that baking powder is a rising agent. It's very important to don't make your chin chin without baking powder. Omo, I don't think you will be able to eat it yourself. This is 3. Going to be adding extra half. Yeah, this is the quantity I used yesterday and I like it. My chin chin came out very, very nice. So 3.5. Nothing more, nothing less for this quantity of flour. So I think this is all we are going to be adding for now. The next thing I'm going to do is to combine all these dry ingredients. I'm going to combine them thoroughly. Then everything. Oh, remember, I'm going to do this. So this is what this is the milk flavor, and this is the kind of seed, or will I say lump, that came out. So this is exactly how I do it. I just add little water for it to dissolve very, very well. And remember, when you are frying your chin chin, it's important, if you are the type that use kitchen towel, it's very important to soak the excess oil so your chin chin will not be filled with oil. Just cut your kitchen towel, put it here in the sieve. Once you fry it out, it's like this. You can put plate under. You put your chin chin here to drain the excess oil. You can even change it like 2 times before you finish frying all your chin chin. Okay, I think this is the next thing I'm going to be showing us now is the quantity of water I'm going to use. So let's get started. I'm going to be using 1 pack of margarine and 1 tablespoon. 1 pack and 1 tablespoon. But you can use 1 pack. It's okay if you use only 1 pack. Very, very okay. Of course, I'm going to be using King's oil. I love King's so much. King's oil is very good for frying, for chin chin. It's also good for peanuts. In fact, it's one of the best oil for peanuts. So what I'm going to do now is this. I'm going to combine all these things, all these ingredients, all the dry ingredients. In case you are the type that like your chin chin to be spicy, you can add little pepper, either Cameroon pepper or chili pepper, just little. So this, I'm not going to be adding any pepper because this is not for family use. Yeah, so it's not good. I don't know, you don't know who is having ulcer or who doesn't like pepper at all. So this thing I'm doing now is very important to have a very sweet chin chin. It's not the type that one side there will be salt in one side, there will be pepper in one side, and the other side there will be sugar. You have to mix it very well because next thing I'm going to do now is to add the margarine. So this is the extra spoon I want to add. So empty the pack of margarine. 1 sachet. The sachet to not pack. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ o. Please make sure your hands are properly washed because any minutes from now I'm going to be using my hand. to mix it, and I'm going to give it a thorough mix, like thorough. Okay guys, I'm going to this is the margarine. I'm going to make sure that I dissolve, like you use the flour just like what I'm doing now. Make sure you mix everything together. Proper mixing, like make sure the margarine and the flour marry together. Marry them together. Let me put it in that way. Combine them thoroughly. This is one of the most important aspects of this chin chin, because if the margarine is not properly mixed together with the flour, when you put your water, you won't be able to mix the flour. Once you use water to mix your flour, it activates the gluten. So the help of the butter will help it not to do that very fast. So you can be able to work on it. Okay? So you're going to mix this thoroughly. Okay. So the next thing now, our, our flour and butter is properly mixed. You can see. You will not even notice that I added anything like that margarine. They have combined tolerance, yeah, properly combined. So I'm going to start. Now we are going to make a hole at the center. To this I will add my egg. Remember I had some lumps from our milk flavor. Okay, I'm going to be adding 3 cups. Yesterday I used 3.5 cups of water. One. But today, I don't know. I'm using golden penny flour today. You know, golden penny is all purpose. Yesterday, I used Honeywell. It was very nice, oh. But I used 3.5 cups of water. So today, let me start with 3 cups of water. So I don't know if the flour, if their textures are the same. In all these things, there can be some difference. Oh. So start mixing gradually. I hope this water will not be too much. Oh. Well, I used 3.5 yesterday and it's the same quantity. So let's see. Or some of the flowers are lighter than the other. Please make sure your hands are clean. Make sure your hands are clean. Oh, very, very clean. So going to mix and mix. Everything must combine very well. Very, very well. Very, very well. Okay, guys. Look at the texture. It's very strong, but don't worry. Leave it like this. Chin chin, if it was in the milling center, they will use machine and smoothing it. Everything will be very soft. So, but because I'm using hand now, it's not easy. So don't look at the texture. Don't say it's too hard. What I'm going to do now is to cover it. Like I'm going to cover it and allow this to sit for maybe 1 hour. You can leave it for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. Like the more it stays, the more it becomes softer. Okay, so I'm going to cover this and allow it to sit for 1 hour so that before I come back, you two self will testify. It took me close to 30 minutes to get to this point. So when you are making your change, you have to exercise patience so that you get the best result. So I'm going to put it together now and cover it and come back 30 minutes time. It's very strong. Look at what I'm doing. I want to put it together and cover that it's so that before I come back like 30 minutes time, there will be a big difference. You will see when I will be cutting this chin chin, it will be very easy. I'm not going to use extra flour to do my surface. So how will I put it? You will see when I'm doing it. Sha. So I'm going to cover it. You can see how I cover it. You must cover it. You don't leave it open. Cover it so that it will work very well. It's okay. Cover. These are due after about 2 hours. After about 2 hours, this is what we got. So I'm going to be working on this surface here. You can see the dough is softer now than before. So what I'm going to do now is to divide it perhaps into 6 so that it will be easier to work on. Okay, into 6 parts. It's softer now. Let me put them here. So this is what we got. You see what I was saying before concerning putting flour on the surface. You can see because of the texture, it's not too strong. Look at it. It's not too soft. So if had it been softer than this now, it will start to gum on the table. Then you start using flour. Personally, I hate it. It messes the whole place up. Okay, now I'm going to use my rolling pin. Even as it stays, it becomes more softer. Before I finish now, other ones. You are going to do it to get a very flat dough. It's going to be very flat. Or as you desire the shape of your chin chin. I don't want the chin chin to be too thick. Keep very thick. Very, very thick. So for this, I will cut it again. I have pizza cutter, but it's very sharp. I don't want to use it on the table. That's why I use knife. You have to smoothen your chin chin very well. Remember, his machine is supposed to be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing this in the rolling milling machine, but because you don't have milling machine, you have to lay your hand and strength to do the job manually. So this is what we got. Okay, I think this is okay for now. So what I will do next is to transfer this on my tray. I don't want to cut it on the table because of the sharpness of this. So look at, it's very important to get this pizza cutter or chin chin cutter. I bought this for 400 naira. Another important thing is to trim the edges. If you are seeing what I'm doing, this pizza cutter is very sharp. It's very, very sharp. So it's easier to use it than using your knife. It will give you a smooth cut, a smooth and easy cut. I don't want the size to be too big because I'm going to be putting it inside a bottle. So this is what we got. Now let's start cutting. Let's do the final cutting. Like this one now is very short. Just do it. So let me start like this. This one is okay already. This one is okay, it's not bad. So this one now, you follow like this. Please remember we are cutting it according to the shape. According to the shape of your dough. Remember that this one is okay like this. So this one now, take this again. Follow it. Just cut very well. This one now is more tiny, but anyway. So like this. Like this is okay. This is okay like this. So let me take it like this again. And the final one is this. No. Some is going to be three. This, and this. So this is what we got. See, when I'm making my chin chin, you can see the final result. It's okay to, like as I made this one, I'm going to be frying this before I continue. So I don't like to pack everything together. Then later I'll start to separate. No. Immediately I do it. Once you put this inside the oil now, they will just separate. So let's get. So this is the easiest way to do your cutting. But when your dough is too soft, this one it cannot work for you. So that is why when you are missing your chin chin, you don't allow the dough to be too soft. So you can see it. I want to check if our oil is hot. Okay, it's hot too, but not too hot. Remember we are using King's oil. I've shown you that before. So yeah, our oil is hot. Going to be adding chin chin. Please, if you have a deeper frying pan, you are free to use, okay? So now we have to allow your chin chin, at least make it hot small before you start turning and turning. I've come to realize that when you are frying your chin chin, you don't turn it so much. Like the more you turn, the more the chin chin will start to scatter. Especially when you put excess butter and egg. The more you turn it, the more the thing will scatter. But that does not mean that you not turn it though. You turn it, but okay. Look at this. Like this one now, strong head. Don't want to separate. So you can check. Oh, this chin chin is very fat. Oh, I hope it's going to enter the bottle. So it's going to look very attractive physically, but I want to bottle it. I hope it's going to enter. So when you refuse to separate, just use your knife. Okay, don't use your hand though. So allow it. If the edges of your this thing is not smooth, like here now, look at this one now. You can see it. You can see it like this one. You can just trim it out and add to the other ones. Even while you are cutting it, if anyone is too tiny, instead of taking the risk to fry it, because when you fry sometimes like this size now, you are frying it with this size. This one will be fast to be fried, and before you know, before this one will be cooked, this one will start getting burnt. So try and maintain the size, okay? This one now, just throw it inside the other dough. Begin to please oh, while you are frying chin chin, forget Z word, forget your phone. Are you listening to me? Forget Z word, forget television. You have to stand gidigba and be watching it. Otherwise, few seconds your chin chin can get burnt. Ehen. I even get burnt on one side. So you have to be there watching it. You have to keep watch to make sure the cooking is going smoothly, the frying is going smoothly. Remain strong. At this point, you have to be ready so that you can see it. See small size now, it's almost getting burnt, and the big ones are still white. You understand what I mean now? You can see it. So chin chin, you have to maintain the size so that they will be cooked evenly. Shey I get the oyinbo? Ewe! I like it to be brown very well. Like when it's well brown, properly brown, it should be very crunchy but soft. I mean, please oh, when you are making your chin chin, don't be too generous. Like I have money, let me put 5 egg, let me add 6 egg. I want my chin chin to be very sweet. Omo, we fry garri, not chin chin. Everything will scatter. So there is moderation in the ingredients, in the condiments you use in making your chin chin. Remove from heat. There is moderation. Don't put excess ingredient because you have the money to buy it. Or maybe you want to put excess milk. Too much of milk will make your chin chin to spoil faster. But when your ingredients are moderate, you will just store your chin chin in a very tight container and they will not go bad. They can last up to 6 months even without preservatives once it's well fried. this. Look here now. You can see there's no, just little particles. Almost immediately, the oil is hot already. But if you notice that your oil is very hot, reduce the heat. Please reduce the heat. If you notice that the oil is very hot, you reduce the heat. Reduce the heat. But if not, free to allow it. Like this oil now is, let me reduce the heat a bit. Just a bit. But don't forget to increase it when necessary. So we are going to fry in the same way. Let me increase the heat a bit again. So the process, we are going to be frying it until I finish all the frying. Thank you so much. If I watch this video up to this point, thank you so much. Please subscribe. You see that red subscription button? Just press it. There is no charges, so press it. It will help you to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Okay? And that also shows that you are part of this family. You'll be getting all my tantalizing videos. Thank you so much. I hope you celebrate your Christmas in good faith. In Jesus' name. Merry Christmas in advance. Look at the color now. Very beautiful color.